Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Get ready.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. On the 10th of February 2020, I'm looking at Ghost Hunters on the ZX Spectrum today, and it's by Codemasters. Well, it was done by the Oliver twins, actually, but yes, they published by Codemasters. But there you go. It was quite cool, actually, because I think they did the original on the Amstrad, and then they, rather than sort of port it to the Spectrum, I think they actually did I think they created their own software to be able to link the Spectrum and Amstrad together. I think that's how it works anyway. And a nice bit of info for you as well, before we kick off the review. Where it says Ghost Hunters at the start, that used up so much memory that it had to basically freeze the screen, and so it could play the file. There you go. Bit of trivia for you. Anyway, let's have a look at this game. There you go. That's what I was talking about. So that's why the screen pauses. Just so you know. Now, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got our main guy here who's doing squats. Yeah, check it out. I mean, you know, you got to keep your metabolism and your body in shape. So you might as well do it while you're playing. Anyway, let's have a look at this. It's sort of a spiritual sequel to Super Robin Hood, I think, which is a bit weird because this guy is more like Rambo than Robin Hood. Basically, the idea is that you've got to go and rescue your brother from this mansion of demons, as you do. Anyway, it's quite nice, actually. And the other thing you can do as well, graphically, is on the start screen, you can change the colour of the game from this nice cyan blue to a really deep red. I'll try and show you that in a few minutes anyway, but let's crack on. So basically, let's have a look at the UI. On the left hand side you have your macho energy. Now basically if that runs out, that's it, it's game over. And then at the bottom you've got your thermometer. Yes, thermometer. So basically anything scary on the screen, that'll start building up, and then your macho energy, I do believe, will deplete quicker. Now there's a variety of items you need to collect in the game to be able to progress. So basically if there's otherwise locked off areas, you'll be able to access them by collecting various items. It doesn't tell you which things have been unlocked. That's up to you to go and have an explore and find out what's new. Now these files I'm getting here, they replenish my macho energy, so that's quite nice. See the thermometer there? Touch the spider, it's now flashing red, and my macho energy is just depleted like a bitch. There you go. And this Count Dracula dude, yeah, he follows you round like on every screen, so you've got to sort of shoot him. We'll come on to the controls in a minute because they're quite unique, but we'll keep going. The animations are quite smooth as well, and considering this was only a $1.99 game, I think they've done a really good job with it, actually. I actually played this a lot when I was just a wee lad on my ZX Spectrum all those years ago. I wasn't from Yorkshire or anything, so don't worry. But yeah, it's a fun game. And do you know what the other thing is? It's two-player, folks, at the same time. Now, how do we manage that? Well, it's quite easy, really. One of you controls the guy on the screen, and the other one controls the crosshair. Brilliant. That doesn't mean you can only play it in two-player. No. It's got a single-player mode, which is what you're seeing right now. Now, I'll tell you about the controls in a minute. We will move on to sound, because there's not much of it. This is the 48K version. So there's not a lot of sound here, apart from the nice speech synthesizer there. And the sort of the gun noises, I suppose. And there's a little bit of music on the intro screen, but it is your standard ZX48 sort of bleeps and bloops. So there you go. Right, so let's change the colours of the screen to red, and then you can have a look at it from there. So here we go. Goblet is the first thing you find, which unlocks the pedestal going up and down. So there you go. Now, I'll tell you about the controls. It's left, right. Up is to jump, and down is duck. And then you've got fire. Now, fire works quite interestingly in this game, because it's not just point and shoot. You literally hold the fire button down, and then you control the crosshair with your joystick. Or you can redefine your keys if you like. That's another nice little option you've got at the start. Now, it's tricky to get used to. Yeah, jumping. We'll come on to jumping in a minute. But yes, the gun thing is it takes a little bit of getting used to, because it doesn't always go where you think it's going to go. But you just hold down the fire button and it locks your character in place, and then you can see there it's in the bottom left, and you can just cut across anything that can be shot. It will disappear. So that vampire guy, he just gets in the way all the time, so you just get rid of him. There you go. You can see the items you need to collect because they're flashing, which makes things a little bit easier for you to denote which items are going to be needed to progress. Obviously, like I said, these sort of cups here refill your macho energy with a great gasp of ghost hunters. And the thing is that I think the vampire guy actually, most mobs actually just respawn at the same place, so you kind of know where to hit your crosshair after a while. So you go, there's the vampire guy again. Certain things can't be shot, like the rats and this ghost thing here. You can't shoot them. You can't even stun them, but everything else is fair game. So there you are. Touching anything will obviously raise your thermometer, and your macho energy depletes quicker. I mean, I think it's depleting all the time anyway, but the more scared you are, the quicker it goes down. Now, playability-wise, I think this is a great little game, and well worth the $1.99 price tag. I think if you'd have played this back in the day, I think you would have been quite impressed with it. Even today, it stands the tests of time, as do most of these retro games, to be honest with you. But you'll find that with some retro games, they're exactly how you remember them, and there's others, and you think, I don't remember this being anything like this. But thankfully, this is one of the games that stays in the memory banks as you remember it. And the fact it's got the two-player option on it is absolutely fantastic. Love that to pieces. The fact that you can do all the exploring and have your friend come along and control the gun sight for you, it does make life a lot easier, and I think it's a real nice hook to get into the game as well. So plus points there, Oliver Twins. You've done a good job with the two-player option. Replay factor, yeah, you're going to come back to this. It's a puzzle game. Easy. Got to come back and find everything, because trust me, it's not easy to keep that macho energy from deteriorating, I can tell you. Age range, well, probably about 5+, I would say. It's not exactly hard. The only thing that might put younger players off is the actual aiming of the gun sight, but once you've actually got used to that, it's an absolutely cracking game. It's a side-scrolling platformer, puzzle game, I should say. Bit of both there, and it's going to provide you with a fair bit of entertainment as well. I think you're going to find yourself hooked once you've had a couple of goes and you've got yourself accustomed to the controls. I think once you're in there, you're going to have an absolute blast. So there you go. And like I've mentioned before, it's a two-player game. That pumps the score up for me. I love two-player games. I think it's much more fun when you've got somebody else with you, because the amount of laughter you get in the room with your mates, you just can't beat it. Now, what I was saying about jumping earlier on is that sometimes you will find yourself jumping on the spot because the diagonal up doesn't respond properly. But that's like if you were facing one way and you tried to diagonal jump the other way, he will just jump up in on the spot, which is a bit frustrating, but it's easily overcome by turning your character around. It's just that if you're used to quickly jumping in a different direction, you'll find that you can't. So just be aware of that when you're playing the game. Other than that, you know, I really can't fault it too badly. It's stood the tests of time for me. It's exactly how I remember it. I think the only downside really is just getting used to the way that the single player gun works. But once you've got that mastered, you're going to have tons of fun. And even more so with friends. So there you go. So, what do we finish off with in the conclusion? Well, it's well worth getting this second hand, because let's face it, you're not going to get it new. So there you go. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's review, folks. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. And 600 subscribers. Oh my, you guys rock. Let's try and pump up those numbers. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell so you're notified on any new reviews that come up. I am trying to do at least one a week at the moment. It's not burning me out quite as much. So I hope you don't mind the slower pace. If I can do more in a week, I will. But at the moment, we'll see how it goes. I'm quite happy with the way it is. I hope you guys are enjoying the reviews as they come. And anyway, you keep it retro, guys. I'll catch you next time, and it's bye for now.